Okay, this is Mike Merlin Means from Merlin Public Media, and tonight we have a dual show. It's our first crossover show. It's a combination of arts talk and small business talk. And with us tonight we have
Hey, it's Brian Brown from the dailydank.com and Rebel in a Box Productions.
welcome. What's up, Brian?
Hey, not a whole lot. Appreciate you having me on today, man.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Tell me about Rebel in the Box.
Rebel in a Box is a one-stop production company. It's funny. I'll start from the beginning if you don't mind. I think we have a couple.
Not at all. Go ahead.
When I first started, I was like a middle-aged guy. Well, I wouldn't say middle-aged. I was in my 30s, and I went to film school. But before that, I grew up in this area, and there was really nothing that supported arts during that time. This would be like the mid 90s, 80s, that type of thing. We had a community college, but I think the only arts that they really did at that time, MCC, they did a lot of pottery and that kind of stuff, but nothing like filmmaking or those type of expressions of art. And so what you would do is when you graduated high school, you either go off to college or you probably went and worked at the casino, which I ended up doing for quite a bit. And then ended up working for a beer distributor. Here locally, did that for a long time, and I ended up getting into a car accident. Well, during that time that I was in the car accident, I was healing up. I couldn't go back to work. There was a show on NBC, and the name escapes me, but it was like almost a American Idol, but for Filmmaker. It didn't last long. It was like 3 episodes and done.
Wow, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg was involved, Michael Bay. It was a pretty big production, and what it was they had filmmakers come on, and they would pair up in crews, and then they would present like 7 short films, and then the audience and the viewers would call in and vote. This is the same as like American Idol on what short film that they liked. Well, with my passion for filmmaking growing up here locally, I grew up from a block from a movie house. So every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at first, as soon as the movies would come out, I would be running down to the movie house. And it was my way to escape reality. I was a heavier kid and get bullied a little bit. But in that movie theater for those 2 hours, I could be the hero up on the screen, or I could be the villain, whoever I wanted to be. And then, just kind of escape whatever was going on in my life. So that always carried with me, and I would think of different stories through the years. So when I was watching this show, I was like, I could do that. Like, I have these stories. Why couldn't I do that? Well, unfortunately, my plan was to try to enter the next season, but like I said, it didn't last but like 3 episodes, and it got canceled. And so that kind of sparked a little fire in me. So then I got into this car accident, and my dad comes to me, and he's like, well, what do you think you're going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't go back to work right away. And he's like, what about, going back to school? I don't think he meant film school, but that's the way I kind of took it. I was like, I have this passion. Why not do it? So at that time, online was just getting started as far as like school, especially for arts. And the Academy of Art University is where I ended up at. They had one of the very first online programs. And so I was able to jump on that, got accepted. And it was really it was crazy. The first subject we did, it was a writing class, and they had us do a character bio. And so I started writing. It was just like, everything just came to light. It was like, this is what I was meant to do. Like, all the frustration, everything was just released on this one exercise, and I knew this was where I was supposed to be. So I ended up graduating from there, and luckily, knock on wood, I haven't had to work a real job, like I said, really since. I've been lucky enough to kind of, that's where the entrepreneur and business side came in, kind of modify with the area and the time, and kind of put my filmmaking skills to other use to kind of make a living, until Hollywood comes knocking, because, one day they will. But
of course they will.
We all got to make a living, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So Rebel in a Box production kind of sprung up from that. Being in the area, there's not a lot of different options you have. Like you can't just go in the yellow pages and find an audio guy like you could in Hollywood. You can't find lighting crew, like you could in Hollywood. So you kind of got to be a one-stop shop. And
Yeah, jack of all trades.
yeah, exactly, master of none. That's what I always say. And so that all kind of popped up was not knowing a lot of the people in the area too that was interested in the same subject, because there was like, I don't know, no clubs or anything. Like you know the situation. Like
Yeah.
I think until LIFF, the Laughlin International Film Festival, I think we were just all kind of nomads, right? Like we were just doing our own thing and
Off doing ours, yeah. Huh?
yeah, not even really realizing that there was other people interested. So that's when I ended up having to get a lot of gear just because I was doing it all. So, like no one was going to come do my lighting for me. So I had to learn and master the lighting and buy my own lighting. No one was going to do audio for me. So same thing, camera, all that. And then we, ended up meeting a bunch of people through the channels, putting together a nice, a pool of talent that we all just kind of went in and out of. And so that's kind of where Rebel in a Box came up from. It's a one-stop production company. We do it all from commercials, music videos to movies. You kind of name it. We kind of do it all.
Okay, so there's Rebel in a Box. Now, I want you to shoot something for me. So how do I get a hold of you guys?
You can get a hold of us through Facebook, and then the website is rebelinabox.net.
Okay.
Is that right? Rebelinabox.net? I think I better. Oh, it's rebelfilms.net. I'm sorry.
There you go. So it's rebelandfilms.net. Rebel in a Box Productions, Brian Brown. One-stop shopping. I've worked with the man. Easy to work with, easy to get along with, and phenomenally professional. Okay.
I appreciate it. Same right back at you, sir.
Thank you, man. So what's in the works for Rebel in a Box right now?
Right now we are actually gearing up, getting ready for the Mojave Community College Flash Festival. There's something that they're doing. I believe this is the second one. I saw them advertising the first last year, but I hadn't really heard much about it, winners or anything like that. So this year, I ended up kind of procrastinating last year, got my dates mixed up, and ended up not hitting the deadline. So this year I'm prepared. It's the 18th is the final day for it, so I'm gonna shoot it. And what the Flash Festival is on there is it's any film from 5 seconds to I believe like a minute and a half, so you really don't have much time to
No, you're crunching it in there.
Yeah, so it's really like a skillful thing, and I'm interested to see what everyone else comes up with, but that's what we're gearing up for right now. And then we're cross business with the dailydank.com, and we're shoot all weekly videos, daily videos, all cannabis related.
Well, that's I'm appreciative of the whole cannabis thing, man, because my health and all that, and it's been a godsend for me. I got one question back on the Flash Film Festival. Are they going to have a showing of the films? Is it going to be a public thing? People that enter only?
Yeah, I have not heard. I think with all the COVID restrictions, it could be possible, but yeah, I haven't heard anything. I will definitely pass that along if they do, and find out about that. They are having a celebrity judge by the name of Seamus Dever, who grew up locally here. We were actually in the same class growing up all through all the grades and everything. Great guy. He's been in Army Wives. He was just in DC's Teen Titans.
Okay.
He played Trident in that. He definitely is a great person to be a judge on something like that, and bring a little Hollywood here locally.
Yeah, well, we're trying to send Hollywood out. They're bringing Hollywood in. It all balances out.
Yeah, exactly.
So back to Daily Dank. What's going on there, man?
DailyDank.com, pretty much. So right now we're kind of in its infancy. We just launched the website. We have a slew of shows going on and a bunch in the can waiting to be released. So basically, we're kind of a cannabis entertainment company. We don't really sell anything but like some merch on the side. We actually are launching our podcast tomorrow. Knock on wood. It's been a struggle getting everything lined up, and man, technical difficulties will really make you go bald, if you know what I mean.
I do know. So podcast or vlog, or is it straight audio, video?
All of the above. So we're gonna run audio, video, of course. That's my forte. I'm still kind of filling out the format. It's gonna be all cannabis related, but I'm having things like movie Mondays where I'm gonna start out reviewing every Nicolas Cage movie, and then we're gonna have special guests come on and help me review the movie and stuff. So we're gonna see the rise and fall, and from what I hear, the rise again of Nicolas Cage. I hear this new movie he has coming out is supposed to be pretty phenomenal. So
I've heard that. I'm kind of like leery.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage has broken our hearts so many times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started out, great guns, and then just kind of
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like that. And then on Tuesday, we're going to do True Crime Tuesdays, where I'm going to try to bring on, I have a special guest, private investigator Lyle Sherman, who's here locally, to discuss some true crime stuff. He'll tell us about his experiences. And then the weeks he's not able to come on, we'll talk about some of the cases he worked. And then when he comes back on, he can give us the insight on that kind of stuff. We're going to do a paranormal day with him as well, where we talk about a lot of the local places that he's investigated. I've investigated with him. I'm hoping to start out with the greenhouse here in Needles. We actually did an investigation about a year and a half ago there, and I have all the footage, and we really didn't know what to do with it. It was one of those things where, everyone has a ghost show. Do we really want to do a ghost show? But I've gotten some crazy experience, from that one house alone. That's been the most paranormal thing I've ever seen in my life, and I don't say that stuff
Hang on just a sec. We are breaking up just a little bit here.
Okay.
In fact, your video is frozen solid. You want to shut your camera off for me, please?
Yeah, let me see here. Turn video off. All right. How's that?
Sounds better already. It's cleaner.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
No problem. Where do you want to pick up from?
Let's go back to just after Nicolas Cage.
Okay. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So Movie Mondays, we'll bring on other filmmakers. I'd love to have you come on there and talk some filmmaking too, and see what you like, and if you like some Nicolas, we'll hand select some Nicolas Cage movies just for you, Mike.
Okay.
So we'll go from there. We're going to do a True Crime Tuesday. I have a friend who's a local private investigator that's worked on some pretty big cases locally, like murder cases and stuff, and we'll discuss some true crime stuff, Grasshopper Junction, some things like that happen locally that I think a lot of people don't even know about. And then my stick too is I'm going to do challenges at the end of all these episodes. And on these true crime ones, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to recreate and eat a meal of the last meal of someone on death row. So we might do Wayne Gacy one day, and then whoever, whatever their last meal was on top of it. And then on the paranormal day, so we'll talk some paranormal stuff. Just recently, about a year and a half ago, I was lucky enough to go to the greenhouse here in Needles, California. That's allegedly been haunted. And we did a full investigation with Route 66 Paranormal. And man, I'm telling you, it takes a lot for me. I've been on a few investigations, and I wouldn't say for sure if a place was haunted or not, but man, that would get my vote. I don't say that lightly. We had some experiences in there. So talk about that. I have a bunch of footage. So we're thinking about putting together a documentary. Kind of, the ghost thing. I don't know. Like everyone has a ghost show, so how do you make yours different? So we're kind of like trying to figure that out right now. But so that'll be part of the podcast, and then pretty much just like pop culture talk, some stuff that everyone's interested in, movies, Star Wars, Marvel, like that kind of stuff that and we'll throw it in with a little stoner twist. So that's the podcast of it. But then we have all these other shows such as Blow and Smoke, which is a game show that's similar to the Hot Wings show. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yep.
We use a gravity bong, and after you hit it, I load some weird questions at you, and we get to know you, that type of thing. And
the guards are down.
I got Baked and Unboxed, which one of my favorite shows that I do is an unboxing show that is pretty much just like everyone else's unboxing show. But first, we get baked together. So I share with you what I'm smoking on. We do a little toke smoke and choke break, like I like to call it. And people indulge in their favorite. It doesn't even have to be cannabis. Like it could be wine, beer. We have Flamin' Hot Cheetos someone put on there one time. So whatever you use to relax. And then we unbox the stuff, and we do weekly giveaways as well as pretty big monthly giveaways. We do concert giveaways, that kind of stuff too. Whatever's in the box that I don't want, we end up.
Yeah. The host got first call.
Oh yeah, there's been a couple times though. We had a signed Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 art piece, but it was like a redone of the movie poster, and it had everyone in it, and it was signed by the actor who played Leatherface. And I kind of had seen online what it was before I opened the box, and what I saw was just an 8x10 of the guy who played Leatherface. So I was like, I'll just give that away. So I say it before I open the box. So as I'm opening the box, it ends up being a variant. It was like number 8 of 100, and I was like, of course I had to say I would give it away. So we end up we give like that kind of stuff away. One of the big ones that a lot of people liked was we gave away a big, I think 11x19 Alicia Silverstone Clueless autograph. A lot of people went crazy for that one. And then, so we just unboxed stuff. That's one of my favorite shows. It's just a fun thing to do. We got coming up Stoned and Scared, where it's kind of like a scare tactics, candid camera type of vibe. But we get a guy stoned and like walk away, and then the house comes alive, and we get his reaction to that type of stuff. And so we got a ton of shows, a ton of stuff. We're going on the website. I want to do a lot of educational. That's in the works right now, like anything from the beginning steps of what's the difference between indica and sativa, flower and wax, just the basic first steps. That way, it's a resource for everyone. If you're a 65-year-old man who it's always been illegal for you, and now you're like, well, maybe that's something I want to try, but I don't want to ask nobody. You can jump on this website, and all your resources are right there. And we have a great community. If anyone had questions, there's a million people that would answer them, so that's what we're gearing up for.
Well, I'm going to have a bunch of questions about growing because we're just starting out on that stuff.
Yeah, that's something I have not tackled yet that I want to, and I'm interested to hear how it goes for you. So I'll be picking your brain.
Well, we're learning. It's far more difficult than growing tomatoes. I mean, it's not your typical crop. It's got the requirements are, and grow outdoor organic. We're not hydroponics, aquaponics. We're not chemicals people, but we're giving it a go. And I'm sure a lot of my friends out there right now are going, "Holy shit, who's doing what?" Yeah, folks. I'm growing it.
Oh, come on. Anyone be surprised that the hippies growing pot? I'm not surprised. Come on.
Well, I got some pretty straight-laced friends out there, man. But
and now that it's legal too, why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's medicine. And not that I don't enjoy the buzz, but in my world, it's medicine for my lungs, and it literally gets me through my day and night. So the fact that it's legal, I was a paranoid son of a bitch, okay?
Yeah.
But
Oh
now
no.
that it's legal, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've learned, kind of like for all the time I spent in the dispensaries working and kind of like getting the vibe for the marketing that I do for for Marvin Mary J's at 2208 Needles Highway, Needles, California. Um, um, the
Do that
vibe I'm
plug.
getting, yeah, definitely that cheap plug. But I've learned, and it's surprising that the biggest demographic is like I would say from 50 to about 75 years old, even beyond that, is a big number on the that we do in sales on that. Like that's a big number, and it speaks to like like I said, it was illegal for so long, and now that it isn't, I think people are coming around to be like, hey, I tried that when I was a teenager. Why not again? Like
Exactly.
And the health benefits far outweigh the others. So.
They really do. I mean, there's a couple of minor risks, like with me and my lungs, I'm going to reach a point where I'm not going to be able to take the heat of smoking. And so I'm experimenting with other things and trying them and, what's going to be best for me once, these lungs get super sensitive. And I found.
Tried the syrup? Have you tried the syrup?
We made a glyceride. Here at the house.
I'll bring you some next time I see you. We have this syrup, and everyone's swearing by it. And and I've tried it a while back, and yeah, you got to manage your dose properly. But yeah, that might be something. Yeah, because it is pretty strong. But that might be something. It's like almost like a little thicker than NyQuil. It tastes like medicine, but
Yeah, what we did is we took, I'm not going to give numbers because like Juanita is the chemist, but we took and decarboxylized a bit and then put it in a jar of vegetable glycerin and, shake it every once in a while and work that up for, 6 weeks or so. And the first time I tried it, I was not quite ready for that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, where is the comfy chair, man? Because I'm down.
Yeah, that's what I've been. I got this gravity bong for Christmas, and like I haven't taken so many naps. I try to blame it on how that I'm getting older, but I'm like, no, it's this gravity bong. Let's admit it.
Well, one of the other things they're throwing at me is I'm taking prednisone daily, and the running joke amongst the forums with what I've got is breathing is important, sleeping isn't. And prednisone every day, and you do have a time going to sleep. So I get to relax my lungs, and I get to go to sleep, and I sleep well throughout the night. And I'm grateful for the gods for putting this plant out here on the planet, man. And and then for the good people of Arizona and California, Colorado, everybody else.
New Mexico went recreational yesterday.
Did they?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah, my friends back in Ohio, they're all still medical. That's all they got.
Hey, I was kind of looking at the map, and like a lot of that, it seems like I wouldn't say more of an East Coast. It seems like the Midwest are the ones who have issue with it. Like it kind of seems that way, like the way the legalization's going of it. What do you think? Do you think we see something in like I know this not the Senate, the House just passed something, or maybe it was the Senate. Somebody passed something, but to go to the next stage, and we know it won't actually happen. But do you see legalization anytime soon, or you think 10 years, 15 years?
You mean like nationwide?
Yeah, federal.
I don't know. You've got the Midwest Bible Belt. You got the Southern Bible Belt. I don't know. The West, I mean, I've been out here 25, 26 years. It's a different universe, man. It really, really is. The mindset on everything is different. People are they're more inclusive. Oh, okay, you're like that. Okay, that's cool. Whatever, man. Back there, no, not quite that way. All
And
kinds of uptight people.
one of the bummers of it is hemp. Hemp has this stigma about it. Like, honestly, from like the research I've done, I was interested in it. Like, there's so many industries that we could create if we would just start farming hemp again. Like, hemp makes amazing concrete, like so much stronger than the concrete.
Yeah, hempcrete. Yep.
Yeah, and there are like so many other uses. I mean, and not only could we not only would we solve a lot of our problems, also jobs. We create our own industry again. Instead of doing steel mining and stuff, now we're hemp. Which is a lot safer and a lot more healthier than some of the other industry we had in the past.
Even in the areas with, the S word, snow, they could still pull off 2, sometimes 3 crops in a season. I mean, for paper, for an oil replacement as a lubricant, for fuel. Yeah. Someone is working on a hemp cell battery that's supposed to make a lithium battery look like an old alkaline cell.
Wow.
I know. I'm into that because I follow solar quite a bit, but man, they're just waiting for those because the storage and the minimal loss, lifetime of the cells is like forever. It's going to revolutionize the battery industry if we just get off our ass and make that stuff legal. And and it's hemp. It's not like it's laced with THC. It doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that's, I guess, would be like, I don't know, because so the discouragement is like, so where I live in Needles, and as I drive through Mojave Valley, we have the farms right there. Well, we actually had a hemp grow going the last couple years. And it does smells like a giant weed farm. And it looks like a giant weed farm. So I guess, those are 2 distractors because, you got these idiots who probably think that it's weed and they're trying to jump in there and get what they can get or whatever. You need security added, that kind of thing. And then the second is, the smell. But then again, if you're a farmer, your chances are you have fields away from everyone, so that wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. It's people are changing.
It just needs to go away.
It really does. I mean, what's that old joke? 4 drunk guys will start a fight. 4 stoned guys will start a band.
Yeah. Well, they'll talk about starting a band.
Well, okay, yeah. They might not get to it, but they'll talk about it, yeah.
They'll have a name. They'll all have their instruments picked out. Yeah.
They won't know how to play them, but hey, man, they're ready to go.
They'll have bar napkins of the costumes. Yeah, they'll have it all going.
It's interesting times we're living on so many levels. People are starting to accept things that were it was unthinkable 15 years ago. It legalized marijuana. I mean, go so far as, same-sex marriage, like it or not, but it's accepted. I don't care how you live your life. As long as you don't hurt anybody, it's cool with me. And that's the way I look at everybody.
Yeah, exactly. On that subject again, and I won't get political on you, Mike, so don't get scared. On my last vacation, I went to the Richard Nixon Presidential Library, which I thought it was amazing. The history behind it and everything. And I didn't realize how much he did as a president. I just remember the Watergate thing, and I just remember the name and the scandal. It was way before my time. So while we were there, we kind of read about it and stuff. And, how uproar it was in the country. It was in arms. How could a president do such a thing? And I agree. But fast forward to me learning about this, a 75, however many years later it was.
That was during my lifetime, so it's not quite that 75 years ago.
But I wonder if it would have the same impact today. Because of just where we are as society, the things we've seen now compared to back then, would this just be like a pebble in the water compared to, what it was in the 70s? Was it 70s or 60s?
70s, I believe, yeah.
It was right after Vietnam, so yeah.
Yep. Been probably just the very end of the 70s because I graduated in 77. I did have to sign up for selective service, but the draft had already been ended for NOM, and I missed it by not a lot of time.
Yeah, my dad said that he missed the year he turned 18 was the year they stopped it.
Yeah. And, talk about sigh of relief. I mean, if I want to kill somebody, I want to look the, excuse my language, I want to look the motherfucker in the eye and just off him. I don't want to.
Have a reason. And have a reason, right?
Yeah, and a reason. Yeah, a reason. I don't want to. I mean, civilized warfare, here's me going almost political, ended with the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, it's person to person, and they're right there. You see them, you see their eyes, you see them when you hit them, you see them when you kill them, and vice versa. I mean, that's the end of civilized warfare.
So I heard something. It was a theory that a UFC fighter had, and I've kind of noticed it. So the theory is that people, English fighters and people from like Britain and that kind of stuff, they're a little tougher, like thicker skin. Not like they're, they could beat us up or whatever, but they're a little thicker skin. And the theory is because over there they don't have guns. And you have to fight if you're like a street guy, growing, if you're in that kind of lifestyle, here, you got a lot of people that will just pull out a gun and they don't actually have to fight. Where over there, they might be a little tougher because they don't have guns and they have to actually get into altercations and that kind of stuff. I thought about that. I'm like, what if there's any science to that,
There probably is. And if somebody out there has more information, hook us up with the news, man, because we're always looking to learn. That's why I'm doing this. I want to bring people into the light, musicians and artists and performers, and share. That's that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm talking to you. Let's bring it out in the open. Let's talk about what we're doing and what we're trying to do. And
But what about you? You got any upcoming projects? I know you were talking about that film that you want to make here pretty soon. Any hang up in that? Or?
The hang up is literally, it's a single location film. And what I need is a stage or something that looks like a concert hall stage that isn't going to eat my entire budget.
How professional does it need to look? Is it what kind of is it like a super concert hall? Could it be like an outdoor amphitheater type of thing?
I never thought about doing it outdoor. I probably could, but I really like
the Wallabies have like a stage and like kind of a bleacher set up too. If that's an option. I don't know your vision. So
does it have? See, I want the performer in front of a grand drape, a main curtain.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't think that stage has that. I'm not sure.
And that's, I've got it cast. I've got the crew. You're even part of that crew for that. When we get a location, that's what I need. So if anybody knows a place that I can shoot a pseudo concert in front of a good-looking grand drape on a stage, give me a holler, and we'll make this thing happen.
You might have to figure out how to rig a curtain, but have you ever thought about here in Needles, the El Garces train station? They rent it out for events and stuff. It's not very pricey. We did a Super Bowl party over there. They got marble floors. They have like the big pillars, different rooms. You could easily set up a curtain to make it look like an amphitheater, like what you're talking, pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hadn't thought about that.
The black and white checkered marble floors. Everything's been redone. Yeah, it has like the 1920s 30 vibe to it.
That I may have to drive out there and take a look.
Yeah. Only drawback is for filming is the train is literally right behind it.
Oh yeah.
So it would be like every 20 minutes, stop, train. Okay,
Well,
rolling.
the two scenes, the two main scenes I need to shoot there, if shot properly, they're 10, 12 minutes.
Okay, yeah, not bad.
And, I was even thinking about finding a place where I could run and gun, but I haven't found that either.
Yeah. Well, definitely count me in whenever we get it all together.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be me. It's going to twist a few brains a little bit. If you don't know the story behind it, you're just going to be staring at the screen saying, why is he putting me through this?
Oh, boy.
And I like that. I like to what's that old saying? The only way to open some minds is with a hatchet.
Yeah. That is very, very true.
So, hit him with something, and then, and there's a recoup period in the film, but it's not, it doesn't require the stage, shall we say. So, yeah, the two scenes on the stage, 10, 12 minutes each one, and we're out. But I'm looking forward to it. That I have not given up on that one. I've let a lot of things go because of my health. I'm holding on to that one. And what's going on with Liff? Is anything going on?
I haven't heard nothing at all. I've talked to Eric a couple times, and I've thought about we've talked about other things. His dad had passed recently, about a year ago or so. But those are the times that we've talked, and it wasn't appropriate to bring up Lyft,
right.
During those times. So. I have heard absolutely nothing. I would like to see it, like some kind of even if it's just a small version of it, just to get that interest going again. Because man, there for a while, it was the filmmaking community was on and popping here locally.
Oh yeah, it was just like people coming out of the woodwork. And what was that? It was I think it was the last year. Was the Student Filmmaker Award new that year?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And that was, that's it, bring in the kids, start them young, get them, I was, mid-50s before I got my first good video camera.
Yeah, I was in my 30s, and when I decided I wanted to pursue it, that's one of the reasons. Like, I do a lot of speaking with schools and stuff. I have one coming at Mojave Accelerated Learning Center next month, like their career days, talk about filmmaking and that kind of stuff. And that was if I can encourage, like I said, growing up here without an art community, if I could encourage one kid and kind of show him, hey, this is what you could do, or these are, it's this easy to get involved. And that could change. I wasted 20 years before I jumped on it. Hopefully, if I can encourage one kid not to waste his time and figure it out, that'd be worth it all right there.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. That's the community theater here in town. They're doing well with kids, and they've got the children's theater. They do 2-3 shows a year, and. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I couldn't make the last children's theater one. It's one of those days where I just did not manage my oxygen well, and I couldn't leave the house.
Yeah.
And I called the director and I said, hey, look, Diane, I'm sorry, man. I can't get out of the house. I need to get on the oxygen, and I'm sorry. And, she gets it. She knows me, and she knows a bit about what I'm going through. But, yeah, community theater and high school theater, and, none of the schools have anything like a video or filmmaking department, do they?
Mojave community is starting to, like, they have like a film appreciation class, I believe now. And like I said, they're
Okay.
doing is like the Flash Festival. So I think they're open to it. So who knows if you could see something, especially I think we talked before about during COVID. I'm going to butcher these statistics. So this is what is it? They call it Howie math from Howard Stern. Because he exaggerated everything. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some Howie math here. But from what I hear, the positions from I guess freelance mobile, like a design, like it would be your graphic design, your video, that kind of stuff, has gone. The job has gone. I guess people working in that field has gone up about 30% since COVID hit. A lot of people, I think, that wanted to do that, was like in their back pocket as their dream, all of a sudden had a chance to, with maybe they got laid off or whatever may have happened, or they went back to school when with the unemployment money was kicking in, or whatever happened. But they're saying like these artistic jobs, like your graphic designers, commercial makers, ads, all these online jobs have shot up about 30% with COVID, and I think it's just going to continue to go that way. So I definitely could see like Mojave and these other local colleges and high schools even offering some kind of class in that.
Well, that would be good. That would be good. And, so much went to live streaming and so many people fought it. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. If we can't get together in person, I'm not going to do it. And come to find out, the money's there in the live streaming.
Yep.
Community theaters all over the country were, streaming the shows, something dumb, $10 for a passcode to get in to watch it. And, and they know people are out there where, I've got my $10 pass and 19 of my friends are in the living room watching it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the artists are performing and they're making, they're making some money. And I don't think that's ever going to go away now.
No. And it's funny because me and you as professionals, I would had a certain standard in my head, like of what a live should be. Like for me, it was like TV3, ABC or whatever, out of Phoenix when they do their lives. Like you got your reporter, your back shot, it's all in focus, it's all clean. So that's how I always thought. But now, like you said, with so many people doing it, that's not the standard. Like anyone literally can go live as long as you don't got like your underwear hanging behind you or something like that.
And occasionally you do have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to put your pants on and you get up or whatever it is. But yeah, so I think it's way more acceptable now. I think people are definitely game for it and are open to learning more about it.
Well, was it last Christmas? I don't know if it was last Christmas or the Christmas before. Juanita and I made a habit. TSO would come around once a year, and inevitably, the tickets went on sale on her birthday.
Yeah.
Every year for years. But last year or the year before, they did a live stream show.
Yeah.
And they did it. They did it in TSO style. It was exquisite. I stopped trying to count the number of cameras they had going because, I'm going to try. You were going to try too, but,
definitely.
How many cameras and, this and that. And, the first thing we do when we look at anything in our art form is to figure out how it was done and then determine, one, we could have done it better. And two, this is how.
Yeah. And, I wouldn't be surprised now that, we set the precedent, even though it was during COVID and stuff. You look at now with the gas prices, with inflation, with all this stuff going on, the food shortage, who knows what that's going to be like. I don't I just hear the rumblings, but with all that, people were living it up pretty good. Like when we first got released, people had a little extra money here and there. Concerts were getting crazy, like at clubs, all that they're shutting down spring break at 10 o'clock because they're getting too nuts, whatever. So, but now that, things are starting to settle down and we're kind of running out of that extra money, I would not be surprised if these companies, these artists, these concert start taking advantage of doing the live stream. You got to think about how much simpler it is. You just get a stage and you set up your live cameras and you have your artists come out and you do your thing. It's got to be so much simpler than booking venues and doing a whole tour, and how much more people you could actually get with a $10 price tag.
Look at your insurance costs go down, your transportation costs become almost non-existent.
Yeah,
I mean it's far less expensive. You don't have to. I'm a theater guy. I cut my teeth on theater back in high school and never stopped. There's that whole interaction between the audience and the performer.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that. But, again, that's going back to that TSO gig. That was as close as I can imagine because I could feel that show.
Yeah. What they did on one concert, and I couldn't tell you what it was. It was like a T-Mobile exclusive or something. I was just reading about it. What they did is if you opted for the VIP pass, which was only like 125 or whatever, as the artist was singing, he would look in the direction of where your angle was, and he would be like, "Hey, thank you, Jessica." And then move in.
Whoa.
Yeah, so there are ways to make it interactive, and then a lot of them have a meet and greet afterwards. So if you bought the extra meet and greet ticket, you would get 3 minutes with Snoop Dogg or whatever, and you could ask him a question and then do the quick selfie, that type of thing. So there are ways to make it interactive. I think of the online live is going to be in 10 years, I'd be amazed to see where it's going to be at.
Yeah, it's, look at Black Magic. Big fan of the company cameras, but they started putting out 2 years ago, maybe, the prosumer level switchers.
Yeah.
And, a decent 4-camera switcher was $600.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I can afford that. In fact, it's sitting right here to my left.
And they're quality stuff, man. And Black Magic.
Yeah, it is.
I've always been impressed.
Yeah, you got your laptop monitor, you got a secondary monitor, your switcher, and then you're just chunking out the data. We ran it out through OSB when I was testing with some friends of mine, and it was glorious. Full stereo sound. $600 for a good switcher. That was crazy.
Yeah, well, man, you look at everything's come down in price. Your 4K cameras, what you can get now compared to what it is. Even your used cameras now, you can get a used Red for half of what you could have 2 years ago.
Oh, sure. It's a good time to be in the business. I wish I was able to do a bit more, but I'm here for those of you doing it, and I'll help you if I can, and I'll promote you when I can. That's why I'm doing this.
I got to get you down at the studio. I want to get you on the Blowing Smoke show.
Okay. Now, first thing you got to know about this is I am still quite the lightweight, but hey, I'm in.
Hey, we'll take it easy on you.
I'm in. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we'll figure it out for next week or something. I try to get out there. So, one of the problems with the podcast, and I had a lot of people ask me, because I've been promoting it for a while, what's taking me so long getting it together was, first of all, formatting it, for stoners isn't the easiest thing in the world until I figured out that stoners like the same thing everyone else like. They like ghost shows. They like that kind of stuff. So that was one thing. But the studio, being an hour away, like if I'm going to do this every other day or every day, whatever it's going to be, that's just not feasible to get out there. So I've been working on a little, I call it studio from the parts unknown. So we'll be broadcasting from parts unknown because you don't know what we might be doing out there. We might be breaking some state laws, but in parts unknown, it's all legal. So I got that set up. So that's what hopefully tomorrow, if we can get all the logistics, all the RSS stuff figured out, those first ones will be launched, and just a good time. That's what it's all about. Just having fun with this whole cannabis thing. Like it's a new I call it the gold rush, but it's a new exciting thing. Everyone's jumping in, and it should be fun as well.
It's the biggest growing labor market in the country right now.
Oh yeah.
And there's everything from I really don't know a damn thing other than how to light a joint to I am a horticulturalist specializing in. There's everything from unskilled, and I hate that phrase, to super skilled, and there's room in there, and it's just going to keep growing.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna. And then, like we said, once it goes federal, I have a feeling it's gonna be like my prediction. And I guess I'm somewhat of if I could be an expert. I've been in the industry for a minute, but I think it will turn out to be like almost like the internet craze, where you had all these little companies that got ate up by the bigger companies. So like you had your Google Maps was once something before Google bought it.
Yeah.
All these different apps, and that's what I think is going to happen. You're going to see like 2 or 3, maybe 4 big cannabis companies, especially when it goes federal. I have a feeling these tobacco companies are going to jump in if they're like don't already have a plan. They got something cooking, and so like your Philip Morris and all those. Yes. Oh, are you still there, Mike?
Yep, I'm here. Okay. Yeah, go to the grocery store and pick up a small box of joints on your way home. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, that's if that's what it's going to boil down to. There's a lot of money to be made, so I think that's what's going to happen is you'll have like 4 or 5 big companies, and they'll eat up all these little companies with the good marketing and the good strains and the good, this and that. And some people, hopefully it works out. Some people could be billionaires when it's all done. That's what happened in the tech world. So
yeah, billionaires overnight, and start eating up other companies, and everybody's walking around smiling, which is not a bad thing.
And I'm working on, everyone was mad at Napster. I'm working on Weedster. It's a joint sharing file system.
Okay, I can't quite wrap my head around that one right now, but.
You could if you were on Blowing Smoke, you would definitely see it. You'd be like, yes, I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna have to start watching. More regularly.
Yeah, no, it's just some fun stuff, man. It's an exciting time, and my fear is that the recreational part of it takes away from the medical, because the things that it helps people with, the medical part of it is just, it's just crazy. So that's what everyone should remember on the forefront.
That's right. That's I don't know if that's the first or second reason I'm using it, but it's either first or second.
Yeah, it helps you mentally and physically. It does its job. Right?
Yeah, it loosens my lungs up and it lets me relax and sleep through the night and kick down some stress levels, because a disease like this is stressful. It's and then you're playing with not so much the doctors. My doctors are really cool, but the insurance companies. You tell me somebody's got a cool insurance company, I'm going to call you a liar.
Yeah, it's all about that bottom line. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. I'm okay. I already said I'm not going into politics, so I'm biting my tongue on this one. We'll go on to something else.
All right. Let's see. What else could we get into here? We haven't really talked. What about the Bruce Willis situation? Where we're talking filmmaking.
Oh man.
Yeah, retired from acting because he has a brain disease, correct? I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, and it's going to first it slows down and it ends your ability to communicate.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, geez. I mean, he's been like the man since hell. When did I first start watching it? It was a detective show, way back.
Oh, was it Moonlighting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
With Sybil Shepherd, right?
yep. That was my first taste of him. Of course, Sybil Shepherd was a little tastier looking, but
Yeah. Yeah, and then he got Die Hard after that, and then everything went crazy for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, just
Yeah, as a performer, I couldn't even imagine not being able to like express yourself, and I mean, as a human too, that's super frustrating, And oh man, thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. But there are cases of people. I did a little research. Randy Travis has it. There's a few other celebrities that have it that are still functioning, decently. Not where they once were, but they're still out there. So it's not a death sentence, so to say. So good. Hopefully he'll be all right. But man,
hopefully, and it's. If you have to leave when you're on top.
Yeah, definitely.
Leave when you're on top instead of putting out some shit.
Have you seen some of those movies he's been in lately?
Yeah, well, okay.
There's a lot of straight to DVD. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Well,
there was a point that let's just say there was a point that I thought I could get Bruce Willis in one of my movies. Okay.
Well, when you do that, I want to be on that crew.
Yeah. Oh man, good times.
Yeah, that's a sad story, but
yeah, no, hopefully everything works out for him. Like I said, there are other people out there that are fighting it. So, and he's a strong-willed guy, from what I hear. So,
yeah, let's hope for the best for him, and we'll see what happens. And while we're talking about seeing what happens, let's wrap this up a little bit. Get your plugs in. Tell me about everything's going on. Give me contact, Facebook, websites, all of it.
All right, thedailydank.com. That's the website. Facebook is The Daily Dank. YouTube is The Daily Dank. Instagram, The Daily Dank. It's The Daily Dank all across the board, guys. Check it out. The website's your one-stop stop for all things cannabis. Like I said, we're working on the educational part. We got a ton of entertainment shows, weekly deals from Marvin Mary J's over at 2208 Needles Highway in Needles, California. You ain't gonna save like you saved down at Marvin Mary J's. That's right, guys. And then Rebel in a Box, same thing. Rebel in a Box Productions. It's rebelfilms.net, and then Rebel in a Box Productions on YouTube, Facebook, and I believe we're on Instagram. I'm not sure on that, but could be.
Okay, folks, check them out. Check them all out. Get out there. Tell them you heard about them here. And let's wrap this up, and we'll say goodnight. And I got a couple things I want to talk to you about once we're done recording here.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on. I had a blast.
Me too. I enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. All right, folks, let's have a good night.
See you guys.